Here we are. Sorry for the slight delay there, but I do have to set the camera off and then climb into my homemade cockpit. I do have to do that. Okay, I'm at Wellesbourne again, Manford Airfield, and I'm going another trip up to Coventry, my home base, where I fly for real occasionally, and at the same time tell you about an incident, a true incident, almost miraculous, that happened in the spring of 1944 at RAF HONILEY. HONILEY Airport, airfield, or the runway I should say, is still there to this day, and there's some cars parked on it now because I think it's owned or rented or whatever it is by the Jaguar Group, and they have in fact got a test track there as well. But anyway, that's going off the subject. So I'll say no more. We'll get off to Coventry, and as I say, I'm on runway 36 at Wellesbourne, and just a short flight up to Cov, and tell you the story of the incident at RAF HONILEY that I thought was fascinating. I hope you like it as well, because it's a true fact. And let's line this up a little touch better. Okay, we'll get straight off, and I'll tell you about it. As I did last time, I got up around 1,000 feet, and then we can level off, and I can tell you about aircraft woman Joy Lewis. She was leading aircraft woman, and in this particular incident she was on night duty in the tower on the radio. And in those days they used to allow you, if you were on nights, once the airport had finished operations, you know, for the day, they allowed you a cot bed, one of those fold-up camp beds type thing, and so if you could, you'd get a few hours sleep. They're very good at that thing like that, because we all know what it's like going onto a night shift. It's you have to wait for the body, you know, to get used to the change to it. But anyway, this particular evening Joy was getting a couple of hours sleep in. She was fully clothed, of course, because she's on duty, so she's got a uniform on and all that. And she left the radio on, of course, which that's what she's there for. And there she was, snuddled down, and suddenly she heard over the radio, "HONILEY, turn on your lights." So Joy naturally jumps up. You know, what the hell was that? What was it? So she turns the radio up a touch, I would imagine, and the voice came again. "HONILEY, turn on your lights." And at the same time she could hear an approaching aircraft. What should she do? Should she turn on the lights? It's 1944, the war is on, and it's the blackout. What should she do? What is this plane? And what worried her was the fact that the voice that was asking her to turn the lights on, although it was spoken English, it wasn't, how can I put this, a true English. It was, you know, it wasn't an RAF type voice or local, that's for sure. There was something in the voice that she's unsettled about. Could it be a German bomber, for instance? You know, put your lights on, have some of that. Wow, what a decision to make. All the senior officers were fast asleep in their billets, and HONILEY was quite a large airport with lots of billeted ground crew, pilots, officers, all the rest of it. What should she do? The third time the voice came over the radio again. "HONILEY, for God's sake, turn your lights on." And there was poor Joy Lewis. What should I do? And she made a snap decision at that time. That's all she could do. She went to the panel, the switch panel, and swiped every single switch straight down. And HONILEY lit up like Blackpool in September. And at that same time, the aircraft landed on the runway. So now she goes out through the doors onto the balcony of the tower, and she could see the aircraft now. It was a twin-engine light bomber, and it was just over halfway up the runway. She goes back into the tower, gets on the radio, and she says, "Okay, I see you now. Taxi to the end of the runway, turn right, and I'll park you up." Negative, tower, negative. We're out of fuel, that was it. So, not only has she, to make that decision when she did, the aircraft was manned by a Polish crew of 7. Apparently they'd come from the Isle of Man and got disorientated, whatever the word is for it, and they got more or less lost somewhere along. But the navigator must have worked out that they were near RAF HONILEY, and that's that would help for they were. But of course it was the blackout, as I've said. They couldn't actually see it. And so by Joy turning those lights on at that time, and what I think is miraculous is the fact that when the lights went on, she said they immediately landed. What was fortunate for those men was the fact that they were in line with the runway, with the fuel gone practically. They said they were out of fuel. They had no fuel to go round. She could have asked them to go round, and they couldn't have. So there were really 7 lucky Polish airmen. Not only that, as I've said earlier, HONILEY was quite a large staffed base. There was 6 rows of billets, I understand, of ground crew and all the rest of it. And so it overshot the runway. God, the carnage would have been the cause, as well as the loss of lives of those 7 airmen. When the lights went on, as I've said, if they'd have been sideways onto the runway, it's same disaster. They didn't have fuel to go around, or go downwind and come back or whatever. They didn't have it. So, yeah, it does make you think. I'd better put some flaps on, or so I'm going to come in far too fast. And so I'm going to come in far too fast if I don't watch it. So that is a fascinating thing that happened to Joy, something she remembers, and the dear lady was still with us, I understand, in at least 2010. And you can actually read it if you actually Google and satellite HONILEY RAF World War II, it will come up. You can see it as it is today. But also, if you put in RAF HONILEY World War II just into Google, the Joy Lewis story is written there. That's where I go. It takes me there when I ask for it. So if you can get to read it, it's a fascinating little read, and I can only recommend it. It's absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating story. So there you are, guys and girls. the true story of RAF Honley, spring 1944. It was a bit bumpy ground. Anyway, not to worry. So I'll get it parked up now, and thank you very much. It's just a short flight, this, to tell you of the incident at RAF Honley and the Joy Lewis story. I'll just park it up here and tidy up somehow. There we are. So here I am back at Coventry, my base, my home base, and there's the tower. So like I said, if you want to read it for yourself, it's fascinating reading, and the things that, all the stories, of course, that we hear all the time about the Second World War, and what all them girls and guys went through. It fascinates me as I've got older anyway. Okay, this trip I was in Cessna 172 November 52 Kilo Alpha, and I hope you enjoyed that little flight. So, thank you very much, guys and girls. Hope you'll wait for my next little tale, because I do like doing them as I'm reading of the history of the Second World War, trying to pass it on for younger people to search these things out. So I now will climb back out my homemade cockpit, which I must do a video about one night. It's got dual controls, and so I could take a passenger with me. I'm in the captain's seat, of course. And I do have a lot of fun in this. And I've said this before in the previous video, that you guys and girls that have a high-end machine, you will have noticed that I haven't got one. Well, that's how things are for the moment, so this will have to do me for now. Okay, thank you. Adios, as the Americans say.